Number 6, we have the Louisiana Motor Vehicle Commission auction license update, which Jeff and Anna have been handling, so I'll just turn this over.
Explain to
Now give us an update.
the board what I'm doing.
Well, we had a very nice meeting. I think ironed out some misconceptions maybe people had about what we were trying to do or not do. And they responded very favorably. I did receive yesterday a draft. This is a draft. Now, I don't know if it's ready to be presented to you. I couldn't print it out this morning anyway, for whatever reason. Basically falls along the lines of what we discussed at the meeting. I think, Jeff, you could say that we put some proposals before them, and I think they were accepted.
Very
So this is the outline of what we're talking about, which would be the terms, and I think what the board can do is say, go ahead and we would do a final version, which would be submitted to the board for signature at the next meeting, if this is what you maybe think about it too. But basically, the terms would be that any auction which sells 5 or more used motor vehicles within a period of 1 year will be required to obtain a used motor vehicle dealer's license subject to the exceptions that are already there, which are the estate sales, bankruptcy sales, I'd have to go back and the list here. Liquidation sales, etc. So that this would follow along the same lines of exceptions, but it would put the obligation on someone who's in the business of selling vehicles. If they don't fall under the exceptions, that they would need to get the dealer's license. No public or retail auction will be required to obtain a separate auction license under the Used Motor Vehicle Commission. In other words, one of the complaints we had is that auction businesses were required to get both a dealer's license and an auction license. As long as you're not a wholesale auction, which is defined as an auction that sells vehicles to dealers. It's commonly called a dealer's auction. And they will still be required to get that auction license. A public or retail auction will not have to, they don't fall on the exceptions, they will have to get a used motor vehicle license if they're selling more than 5 vehicles. And that's a 12-month period. So that it's not just January, December. You sold one in March, and you sold one the next January, and then you sold 3 in February. At some point, you've got to get a license at that point because you're considered to be in business. Wholesale auctions or dealer's auctions will be required to obtain the auction license from them. They still will have to have ours also. Wholesale auctions who desire to transfer certificates of title or have dealer's plates will also have to get a used motor vehicle license. In other words, that's another dealer's auction requirement, not a public or retail auction. Everybody understands the difference, or do I need to? Okay. Complaints filed with either board, which may involve violation of the other board statutes or regulations, will be shared for investigation. Either board may decline investigation or regulatory action with regard to the complaint. So in other words, if I get a complaint on a wholesale auction or a public auction which has gotten a license from them, then I will be required and I will notify the investigating department about that. And then we both can go forward or make a decision. This is their problem. If they have a set of rules and they have a statute for wholesale auctions, which we don't go enforce, because it has nothing
I
to
have
do.
sales license, dealer license, they gotta go get. What I'm getting from my people is exactly that, if you give me the license, I'm gonna grudgingly go along with this, but I'm a problem with this. But, I mean, I gotta answer my people, I'm sorry.
Be an issue with the.
Okay, that's still what you do.
I do have a
My
complaint.
people still feel like they don't need auction, a car auction license to sell vehicles. It should be taken out. Now, if they sell more than 5 a year, I understand.
Yeah.
But,
And that's the only time that they would need to discuss
I
it.
mean, my people are violently opposed to this rule and this regulation, and they don't think Buster had to call it, because him and Coleman called it, because they supposedly the ones that were on him when they let the cat out of the sack. And these people took over all this stuff with the legislation. Y'all didn't go fight.
No, we had people that do
I That's not what we were doing. I mean, I had like you told me, y'all didn't lift your finger to do nothing. And that's what they all were saying about that. I mean, it wasn't none of us there, so, I mean, I wasn't there, you the only one that goes back that far. I think.
Yeah, but I.
No, I'm talking about, you're the only one that
The
goes
whole
back.
point I had was that you had to have both the dealer's license and the auction license.
Right.
Right.
And you don't have to.
They're gonna do away with their auction license.
Only people, this was says, only wholesale auctions were required to obtain an auction license. That's the only thing. That's the only, that's what it was intended for.
You talking about the car dealers. You talking about the
Use
dealer auction
motor
license.
vehicle, right.
They had to have a license with us, what's the business license, what's the stuff from over there.
And the chairman of their board is an auction, dealer's auction. Yes.
So you're gonna finish this up?
We'll put it in form, and then what
For
we'll
the
do
next.
is, if we've submitted, if
This
this
is
is,
right, absolutely, just let us finish, please. I'm sorry, Anna.
if this is what the board wants to do, I will draw it up in more formal agreement language. It will have to be submitted to both boards for approval. So I don't know, you know, their meeting's scheduled, but you just need to instruct me as to when you want me to have it, then we all review.
Hopefully by the next board meeting. So do you want anything, any other? I know, but I don't know if you want anything else.
I mean, what I want, they're not gonna do, so, and what my people want, they're not gonna do. They don't want to have to buy the license, period, paragraph. And, I'm sorry, Anna.
But I'm not sure which license, but you and I can talk about that.
You know, fish call, we'll talk about that.
Talk to Jeff too.
And that's what they reiterated to me.
There's a great deal.
They just say it's too much fees for doing the same thing. And I can understand those things. And this is just not Barbara, it came down here before the board. There's a lot more to call me. I don't know if she hasn't called me or what. There's been a lot of people calling.
Okay, Freddie, I know we've done public comment, but you have one quick comment?
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you, Madam Chairman. The only thing that when it came down to the exemptions, I know y'all mentioned 5, but she didn't mention anything about nonprofits and charity organizations and what that the exemption point for that. And I think that needs to be all inclusive component inside of that. That regulation or that particular item. Nonprofits and charities, because they're not in that category, and there should be a limitation, because a lot of times we do
I
fundraising.
have to go back and look, they may be part of the exemption.
We already did.
Yeah,
I
they're
didn't-
exempt from us and we exempt from them. I had to confirm that.
Okay, because I didn't hear it. That's what I was just asking. Thank you,
I
Madam
guess we all
Chairman.
just assumed it was part of it, but good point, Freddie, we'll go make sure.
Right, and I'll definitely check it, because obviously we don't, they do, no, they don't have it, they have farm sales, liquidation sales, bankruptcy sales, estate sales, and government and municipalities are exempt from
Okay.
their.
We'll make sure that's
And charity too. They should have it.
right.
And then we'll have to check with, I don't know how they handle, because there aren't that many, but there are some that do charity vehicle auctions.
Okay, so the next agenda will have more of, this will continue. Okay, we're gonna move on